It's always hard when you're in the middle of a story that you don't understand. And when we look at the Gospels, what we see is a story that the disciples think they understand at first, and then they realize they don't. And I think we can all kind of identify with that. Like, they meet Jesus, they see these miracles, they see these people following, and they hear this beautiful talk about the kingdom. And it just seems like it's going to be just rising, 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 and culminating in, Jesus ruling and reigning and them getting free from the Roman Empire. And then instead, it leads to losing popularity, losing the public approval, and finally, Jesus being nailed to a cross and his disciples actually being scattered, and people, and them even denying that they were with Jesus. And they're like, this isn't how the story was supposed to end. We had this rising action, and it was supposed to culminate in this kind of climax. But instead, Jesus died on the cross. And they're in the middle. They're like, we got to totally rework what we thought God was doing. Were we even in the middle of the story we thought we were? I mean, were we maybe the bad guys? Were we wrong? We thought we were on the good side. We thought we were the good guys. And then Jesus rose from the dead. And then he explained everything to them. He explained how in the Old Testament it was all pointing to him, pointing to this moment. And he thought, oh, okay, he rose. Oh, wait, oh, he went back to heaven. What do we do now? So once again, it's like, whoa, he rose from the dead. That's amazing. But now we're still lost, and we don't know where this story is going. Even though Jesus had foretold, he had said, it is good for you if I go away, because otherwise the Holy Spirit won't come. So his whole goal, the crucifixion and the resurrection, was to get the Holy Spirit on earth. The goal was the church being filled with the Holy Spirit. And then once they're filled with the Holy Spirit and they go out and they're like, wow, we're seeing all these signs and wonders. We're filled with these gifts. Like, even though Jesus isn't physically here anymore, we are seeing that his spirit and his power are here with us. And yet, even that is not really the climax of the story for creation, because all creation is still groaning and waiting until Jesus comes the second time. And so, even the Holy Spirit was the beginning of a new, beautiful story, the story of the church. And yet, we act like that was the climax, like it was all downhill from here, when really the church is going to increase in glory and power and beauty until the return of Jesus to establish his kingdom on the earth and claim his bride.